Good afternoon. Thanks for watching. This is Now. Let's get right to this. Tripler Army Medical Center says it is investigating a probable case of monkeypox. Casey Lund joins us now in the H&N Digital Center with the latest.
Good afternoon, Jonathan. And really important that we stress off the top here. So far, this is just a probable case, as you mentioned. Now, earlier today, though, Tripler Army Medical Center, a spokesperson there, did say it was a confirmed case. They later walked that back and then did characterize it officially as just a probable case. Let's walk you through what we know so far. Now, the Hawaii Department of Health is also calling it a probable case, and DOH says it is, in fact, a Hawaii resident. The individual is an adult Oahu resident and is currently hospitalized in stable condition. That person presented with symptoms consistent with monkeypox and recently traveled to an area that had confirmed cases. Testing completed by the State Laboratories Division detected orthopox virus. Now, monkeypox is a type of orthopox virus. Confirmatory testing will be performed by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention next week. Health officials are investigating the spread of the virus after cases began emerging in Europe and the United States.
We're continuing to investigate the case and are monitoring close contacts. We're working with the CDC as part of the national investigation into monkeypox infection, and we're coordinating with the federal authorities to make sure that we have access to vaccines and antiviral medications for those who are impacted.
Monkeypox typically begins with flu-like symptoms and swelling of the lymph nodes. Patients also experience a rash on the face and body. Again, recapping this developing news, Tripler Army Medical Center and DOH both confirm that they are treating a probable case of monkeypox. Now, of course, we're going to be on top of this today. We'll bring you the very latest online, always at hawaiinewsnow.com. Our first newscast after this, first at 4 on KHNL, and you can get the very latest at any moment on all of our digital platforms. Jonathan?
Thanks, Casey, for that update. A former Honolulu police officer has been arrested. Homeland Security investigators say Mason Jordan has been charged with trafficking a child. We're told he was arrested by federal authorities yesterday in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the crimes happened while he was an officer. Our Rick Daysog just spoke with Special Agent in Charge John F. Tobin. Here is some of that interview.
Well, this arrest is a result of a tip that we received which alleged that an individual had recruited a minor via social media to perform sex acts for money.
And had that person had contact? Had he actually filmed and met this minor? So
at the time that we received the tip, it was just for the offer to or offering to pay money to a minor to perform a sex act. It was subsequent to that the investigation revealed that there was a lot more going on with this individual.
How old was that minor?
14.
Male, female?
Female.
Can you share any of the details of what was, when they were going to film the person? Was he going to fly her somewhere, or was it here that it happened?
So all of the acts happened here on the island of Oahu. In terms of the allegation and the acts that occurred, this individual was reaching out or befriended this minor via social media, and then began the process of asking for explicit photographs to be sent, and then that activity progressed even beyond that.
We're going to continue to follow this story as well. We'll have much more on it throughout the day on your H&N digital platforms. Now to a story that our partners at Civil Beat broke that has a lot of people talking today. A report that the main fire suppression system at the Red Hill Fuel Complex was not fully operational for at least a year. The equipment to deploy firefighting foam was reportedly disengaged, and only water would have been released. The U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration says water only would have spread the flames. The Navy says its systems were, quote, never insufficient. But you'll recall this, they also claimed that the fuel tanks did not pose any risk to Oahu's drinking water, and then a large number of people got sick from drinking fuel-contaminated water. Civil Beat got this new information through a Freedom of Information Act request. President Biden calling on Congress to strengthen gun laws in the wake of the recent mass shootings. Natalie Brand is in Washington, D.C. with more on that.
I'll do what I can to try to see through we have some real progress.
Friday, President Biden reiterated his demands for Congress to pass gun control legislation less than 24 hours after his impassioned plea for action.
How many more innocent American lives must be taken before we say enough, enough?
The president has called for a ban on high-capacity magazines, universal background checks, new safe storage laws, and red flag laws, and a return to the assault weapons ban of 1994, which he helped pass as a senator.
Support for a ban on assault weapons is consistently polled to show support more than 50%.
Christian Heine of the Brady campaign lost his mother in a shooting that also injured his father. He's hopeful the bipartisan talks now underway in the Senate could finally lead to some action.
The American people are angry about this. They are fed up, and they are calling on our senators to come together. So, our impression is that these talks are real.
While there's optimism among the Senate negotiators that a deal can be reached, the measures they're discussing are narrow, closing background check loopholes, mental health, and school safety.
Now is the time for my Republican colleagues to put up or shut up.
This needs to be done and must be done consistent with the Constitution.
Over in the House, the Judiciary Committee voted to advance a more extensive gun control package along party lines, including a measure to raise the age to buy a semi-automatic rifle from 18 to 21. The proposals could get a full vote in the House as early as next week, but they face steep odds in the Senate. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
New at noon, just into our newsroom, Governor Ige has signed a bill into law that requires physical inspections of firearms under certain circumstances. Here's some of what he had to say.
We are amongst the strictest in the country, and we know that we have amongst the lowest rates of gun violence in America. House Bill 2075 is another of our efforts to ensure that our communities remain safe. As all of you are aware, the U.S. District Court did rule against our current laws, declaring that the current permit and its effectiveness for 10 days to acquire a handgun, and a requirement to physically inspect all gun registrations were unconstitutional. House Bill 2075 is a measure that restores a part of our previous gun laws, which we think is important to ensure that we can keep our community healthy and safe. This bill allows for in-person inspection of guns that do not have serial numbers, such as ghost guns, and I know that the legislature has been working on that issue of ghost guns for the last couple of years, and also guns brought to Hawaii from out of state, and guns transferred between private individuals within the state. We really do feel that that's an important part of inspecting and improving our gun registration.
Gotta switch gears now and get you a check of your weekend forecast. Here's Billy V in for Guy Hoggy.
Today, and for Hawaii Island, I know for the triathlon, there's wish they could have more winds to kind of keep them cool, but the winds are going to be light, 10 to 15 miles per hour today. Tomorrow, Sunday, all weekend long. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those trade winds will pick up. But it's going to be partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies as we go through the next 6 days. It's going to be nice weather, and once again, more stable, drier air mass around.
Severe weather threatening Florida at this hour. Let's get the latest on this tropical trouble from Jamie Girola.
Now, throughout the day, the wind has been picking up and the rainfall has been coming down pretty hard. You can see behind me that the water is pretty choppy here, and there have been some intense squalls creeping out throughout the area. The peak of hurricane season is not until August, and some are wondering if this early landfall is indicative of what's to come. Throughout the day Friday, heavy winds and random bouts of rain. The Keys already feeling the effects of the first tropical system this hurricane season. It's churning in the Gulf and creeping toward the Florida coast, possibly becoming a tropical storm by landfall.
We're cleaning out the drains. We've been doing that for the last few days, of course. I mean, in time to start the hurricane season, we clean out the drains really well. We're constantly cleaning. We know the low-lying areas. We tell folks if you don't feel comfortable, move your cars.
The Keys are conditioned to hurricane season, but people who visit aren't, like this family from Europe.
We've been in Miami. It was super hot. And now we hope we will enjoy some sunny weather on beaches here in Key West.
I hate to tell you, that's not going to happen between now and Saturday.
That's too bad.
Emergency officials in Monroe County warn of flooding and 4 to 8 inches of heavy rainfall, as much as 12 inches in other areas. No evacuations have been ordered and no shelters are opening. But residents and tourists are being advised to stay off the road.
And that's going to cause a lot of street flooding in areas that are prone to rainfall flooding here in the Keys, such as in Old Town Key West and also some portions of neighborhoods further up the Keys, including in Key Largo.
The timing of the storm so early, raising eyebrows and speculation about what this means for the rest of the season.
It might be like less actually, since starting early, so it might end early. No. Type thing.
What do you think?
I think it's Florida, so whatever happens, happens. It's a bipolar state.
Just because we have one this early doesn't mean that the rest of June and July is necessarily going to be busy. But if anything, it's a good time to practice and review our preparedness plans and to make sure we are ready for the main season, August, September, and early October.
Now, conditions are expected to deteriorate throughout the evening, and of course, residents and tourists are being advised to stay indoors. In Marathon, Jamie Garola, NBC News.
Check this out, Mario Kart breaks out of the video game. Universal Studios Hollywood has unveiled this sneak peek of Bowser's Challenge, which it's calling one of the largest, most interactive rides ever. It's set to debut in Super Nintendo World at the California theme park early next year. And now we want to get a check of how Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee is going in the UK. Here's Ian Lee with more.
After the Queen treated crowds to 3 public appearances on day 1 of the Jubilee, it was understandable the 96-year-old monarch might need to recharge her batteries. No doubt she was still watching today's events unfold on TV from her castle in Windsor. A long line of British royals rolled in for a celebration of Thanksgiving to highlight Queen Elizabeth's 70-year reign. But the star of the show was missing. The 96-year-old monarch skipped the service after feeling tired from Thursday's jam-packed day of festivities.
It's important that she looks after her health. We want her well. We want her to keep going.
Queen Elizabeth has been going since she took the throne 70 years ago.
70 years in one job. I mean, no one ever does that, do they?
The Queen's son and future king, Prince Charles, stood in for the monarch at St. Paul's Cathedral. Grandson Prince Harry and his wife Meghan flew into London from California for their first royal event together since leaving the UK. Are you guys happy to see them here?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Harry. Absolutely love Harry, don't we? Yeah. He's the naughty one of the royals.
Harry and Meghan brought their 2 children with them for the Platinum Jubilee. Lilibet, named after the Queen, turns 1 on Saturday and is expected to celebrate with her great-grandmother.
She'll look back at that when she's older and just think, wow, all of this, and to meet the Queen at that age.
The Queen's Big Bash runs through the weekend.
We love the Queen, don't we, girls?
Yeah! With street parties across the nation to honor the only Queen people here have ever known. Royal fans are hoping they'll get one more glimpse of the Queen this weekend, although royal aides aren't saying which events, if any, she will attend. There are plenty to choose from, though, including an elaborate pageant that will roll through these streets and a star-studded concert at Buckingham Palace. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Colorful sparks will fly again in the sky as the long-awaited Waikiki Hilton Hawaiian Village fireworks show returns this evening for the first time since the pandemic. Every Friday from now until September, the show will start at 8 p.m. and run for 4 minutes. And it's free, with so many good viewing spots all along Waikiki and around Oahu. The 30-year Waikiki tradition was put on pause in March of 2020 when the state prohibited large gatherings. That is going to do it for the shortened edition of This Is Now. Get the latest on all these developing stories coming up on First at 4 on KHNL. Everyone have a good and safe weekend out there.